Peace, Prince Ash here, back with another video for you. Switching up the content, doing a Q&A right off the bat. Big up Michael Goo for the donation. Every little helps. I'm trying to make ends meet, rent to pay, studio bills, trying to get the album mixed, and yeah, it all costs money. So any donation is much appreciated. My PayPal's in the description. So the question I'm going with is, where did I get my flow? And yeah, take it back to the start. I grew up listening to boom bap, Tupac, Biggie, bit of Jay-Z, Nas, KRS-One. I love KRS-One. In particular, Sound of the Police is my favorite. Mobb Deep as well, Havoc and Prodigy. Grew up listening to like more contemporary hip hop, which came from the 2000s era, from the year 2000 to the year 2010. Yeah, that decade, the 2000s. So Eminem, Jay-Z, Lil Wayne, Drake, dare I say Drake. I don't really like Drake. I don't rate him. I know he doesn't write any of his own music. Like other people writes his music for him. Like, and fuck that, man. I can't respect that. Like, and not to mention, I just don't like him as a character. I don't like his character. Simple as that. So growing up listening to boom bap and hardcore hip hop, people who are dedicated to the genre. I said Mobb Deep, KRS-One, all them. Lil Wayne. Look, I can rattle off all these names all day, but sure. Let's get to the bones of it. So, when I listen to a boom bap beat, I tend to flow the best on a boom bap beat naturally. The first raps I ever wrote were boom bap. The first instrumental I ever wrote to was Shook Ones by Mobb Deep. And I suppose I tried my best to emulate Eminem's flow, or Dr. Dre or Tupac, but Eminem was definitely my biggest influence when I first started off. And as time went on, trap came into it, and then drill came into it. Actually, trap and grime came into it together for me, and then it went to drill, and then I'll get to where I branched out to after, but my earliest years writing raps, I could never write anything to a trappy beat, or a grimy beat. I chose a boom bap beat every time. And yeah, that was because naturally that's what I'm used to hearing. That's what I'm used to flowing on. Like Eminem's kind of beats are in the time of a boom bap beat, man. Obviously not every beat is the same, like, and all that, like, but yeah, it could be described as hardcore hip hop because, you know, he'll die on a cross for the genre, Eminem, like. And anyway, I started getting into grime, trap. I moved away to France and Reunion Island in the Indian Ocean. I don't even want to go into that right now. But I started getting into even more contemporary hip hop. And I couldn't get the triplet flow down. I couldn't understand how they did it or how to do it. And I still kind of struggle with it, to be honest with you. Like, I find it hard to sit in the pocket properly when I'm spitting raps. Like, that's an honest critique of myself. Like, I can find it very hard to sit in the pocket of a lot of beats. But what I do, I generally tend to do it quite well the way I do sit in the pocket of the songs I do release. Like, but some songs I have to abandon them and scrap them and never even approach them in the studio. Like, so anyway, if we take it back to the present day, I've gone through this type of shit before, but in a different question. So, and also I'm not for a long time anyway on the channel, so I'll go into this again. But because I was so used to listening to UK rap and American rap, and what else would there have been? Yeah, that would have been it really. Aussie hip hop prevailed for me because it was something that like it was raw, gritty, and fresh. Like, it was fresh in the sense it was a new accent, new slang, new words, a new scene that's kind of come up by itself. French hip hop I listened to as well. That was a bit fresh for me too. Obviously, it's a different language and different slang, but like I understand a good bit of it because my French is pretty good. Like, anyway, let's get into it. My favorite rapper of all time is Husky. I'm not saying he's the best rapper of all time, but he's just my favorite. I love his music. And I got my flow copying Husky, basically. Yeah, but like obviously my shit's unique, and I put my own spin on it, like, but I've been studying Husky's flow and how he rhymes his syllables and the beats he uses and stuff, and I've been saying I want to do that in Ireland, like, and that's how I approach most raps I write these days, is like, I'm thinking, how would Husky arrange this? Like, how would he flow on this? Maybe what would he talk about on this? How can I relate this to my life in my rhymes? And you can clearly hear that in Rat Race, my new single, which I'll link in the description. Obviously, I throw in a lot of Irish words, and foreigners mightn't understand my accent for a bit of it. Like I'd say nothing, like that means nothing, you know. And maybe if I'm telling you now, you might get it when you hear it again. But like, yeah, to make a long story short, like, Husky is where I got my flow, and there's a dash of Eminem and Tupac and Dre and KRS-One and the Boom Bap and all that. Now that's in terms of spitting bars and rapping. A different story altogether is where I get my flow and melodic when I'm singing, like, and obviously I spoke about them a lot before, and I have this tattoo, XXX Tentacion, Lil Peep, Juice WRLD, the trifecta of rap. Even Future, Migos, Kendrick Lamar as well. I feel like I'm just making this video listing off rappers and not even making any point that makes sense, but I got this question, so I said I'd answer it as best I can. But yeah, I've since learned how to do the triplet flow and how to flow on trappy beats and stuff and sing over them. And definitely, like, the last track I made is called Memories. It's not released yet. It's going to be on the new album. It's called Memories. And I went into the producer and I was just like, I want a Juice WRLD beat. I feel like making a Juice WRLD type of tune. And it wasn't the same as in, like, if I was rapping, I'd be like, what would Husky do? I wasn't sitting there listening to the beat going, what would Juice do? It kind of came naturally to me, and words started coming into my head, and started formulating the hook, and I was like, yeah, this is how I want it to sound like. But we were using like a Juice WRLD preset, which is like, it's mixed in the same way Juice WRLD's music could be mixed, like. So yeah, it's interesting. I get my flow from all sorts of places, and then it's down to myself. Obviously, I don't owe it all to like all these different rappers, because I also have a natural gift of being able to rap, like, and formulate a flow and stuff. So it is unique to me. Like if you were to listen to a Husky song and listen to Rat Race, for example, you might think they have nothing in common whatsoever. Or you might notice the similarities in our raps. Like, I always feel like I tend to recycle bars as well. I got that comment before, like, that I'm fucking too many cliches and recycled bars. And that's something I'm trying to be conscious of. And also, in the past, I would have been bad for, like, rapping shit that doesn't exactly make sense. So I'm striving to, like, fix all of these things, and I'm working hard at it, like. So yeah, fucking, we'll get there with it anyway. Yeah, so that's where I got my flow. The new album's called Redemption. It's coming soon, still in production. Peace.